Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever you are in the world. It's day 3 of the Square One Healing Cancer Coaching Program. Last night's module was why you have cancer. Y'all hear that train? Anyway, so in the module that aired last night that's on all day today until 9 p.m. is all about understanding why you have cancer, understanding the causes of cancer in our diet, in our lifestyle, in our environment, and it is a very eye-opening module because it will just help you connect the dots. Because every cancer patient, whether you're a patient or whether you're just interested in prevention, it's so empowering to know what is causing cancer for the majority of people living in Western nations, and this is going to help you a lot. So I hope you watch it. Tonight is Module 3. The anti-cancer diet. And so I'm going to be talking all about the specific foods that you need to eat. Anti-cancer nutritional science. I'm going to teach you exactly what to eat, what not to eat, and again, show you the nutritional science that supports it all. So this is a simple, powerful, proven dietary protocol. It's not just me. This is exactly what I did to help my body heal cancer, but it's also what hundreds of cancer patients that I've met, interviewed, and coached have done to heal cancer. So, nutrition is the foundation of health, right? You've got to get the diet right first. I've said this in other modules, but before you run off to some cancer clinic or before you start doing a bunch of weird alternative therapies, right, and spending a bunch of money on supplements, you've got to get the diet right. And diet for some people is hard to change, but that's the most important thing. You got to change your diet because what you put in your mouth becomes you, right? You are what you ate. So tonight we're going to talk all about exactly what to eat, foods that promote disease and cancer, the most potent anti-cancer vegetables and spices. I'm going to talk about my daily schedule, so like what I did every single day, my daily dietary schedule. And we'll talk about juicing, we'll talk about smoothies, raw food versus cooked food, and a lot more. So it's going to be really good. It's going to be a lot of practical, actionable information that you can take immediately and implement into your life. So yeah, that's great. So we've got a couple questions. I'll answer a couple questions since some of you are asking. So the question about oils, I'm not curious if you mean essential oils or if you just mean like olive oil. Oils to kill parasites, well, no, not specifically. I won't be talking about oils to kill parasites, but I will be talking about and I can talk about it now, of course. The most potent anti-cancer oil is black seed oil. That's black cumin. I'll talk about that in detail in the supplementation module, which is about a week away. It's like module 9, and we're on module 3. So 6 days from now, I'll be talking about a lot of supplements, but not to overwhelm you, but just to give you like sort of what I feel like are the core essentials if you're going to use supplementation. But you got to get the diet right first. Like, this is so important. You can't take a bunch of supplements and keep eating it at McDonald's and think you're going to get better. Like, that's not the way it works. So, although supplement manufacturers want you to think that. They want you to think, well, you don't have a perfect diet, but our supplement can fill in the gaps in your diet. No, it can't. Nope, not going to do it. That's not going to work. So, you've got to get the diet right. You got to be serious about it. So anyway, we're going to talk all about that. Anyway, I'm looking for other questions here because I have a few minutes. And then, man, I'm telling you, we've been working like bananas. I've been up since the crack of dawn. It's like, lunchtime, and I just had a shower. So the team, we've got about 12 people on the team for the Square One launch. We are all working so hard. That's more than 12. I think it's closer to 15 people working behind the scenes in customer support, my web programmers, designers, like everybody working together, and we're just, it's a huge team effort. There's no way I could have done this without the team. So I just want to give a shout out to them because they've been amazing. But all right, let me look at some of these comments. Tracy says you're hot. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, scrolling. I know it's annoying to watch somebody just scroll Can I talk about healthy eating and children? I'll talk about that right now because I don't really talk about that in the module tonight about like what kids should eat or what our kids eat. But our kids, the main thing is like we didn't want to become health Nazis with our kids. So we do give our kids freedom to eat whatever they want whenever they're at grandparents' house or at a friend's house or whatever. But we deliberately don't buy a bunch of junk food and and fast food and stuff to feed our kids. So our kids eat breakfast, like a real breakfast every morning, like oatmeal or granola, or Marin had a smoothie this morning. We pack their lunch most days, but they do eat the school lunch a few days a week. And they both really like vegetables a lot. So they eat mostly vegetables, which is great. And they both love fruit, but different kinds of fruit. Because they're just picky, One of them hates bananas. Like if there's a banana in the room, this is Marin. If there's a banana in the room, she is like out of there. She will run away from a banana. She's 12 years old. I don't understand like the problem she has with bananas. But anyway, and like dinner. Almost every single night we have dinner at home, and it's either my wife makes dinner or she'll warm up leftovers from the night before, and. We just made a decision pretty early on that we just didn't want to be bogged down running our kids around to activities every night. Because when you're doing that, like you're having to eat on the run. And so you're going to end up eating a bunch of fast food every night because your kids have so many commitments and have to do so much stuff. And so, and I purposely I don't travel much. People think I'm like a professional speaker. I'm not. Like I turn down speaking events all the time because I don't like to be away from my family. And being at home and having a boring dinner with my wife and kids I prefer that to speaking in front of a huge group of people. Like I just prefer to be with my little people because I know my kids won't be around, for much longer. We're going to turn around and they're going to be graduating high school. So I'm just trying to get as much quality time as I can with them. So so we have dinner every night as a family. It's a rare night that we don't. And my wife cooks, and she cooks lots of vegetables and stuff like that every night. And, I post some of that stuff on Instagram, and I guess some of it here too. But anyway, so that's a long answer. A little bit of rambling, but, just talking about the way our kids eat and how we, our philosophy on it. So again, they have freedom. We don't want to be controlling like the puppet master, like, oh, they're not allowed to eat candy. Please don't let them eat any candy at your house. Whatever. Come on, they're kids. We don't want them to just be totally weird. So let's see. I'm going to try to grab a couple other questions here. Oh, by the way, so we're kind of far into this, but there's a link somewhere, in the Facebook Live post. There's a link to watch Module 1 that's staying online throughout the whole launch. We decided to keep it up. So Module 1 stays up. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. And then on that page, you can opt in to watch the rest of the series for free, all 10 videos. But Module 2, there's a deadline on it because it will only be online until 9 p.m. tonight, and then Module 3 starts. And each module stays online for 24 hours. So it doesn't matter what time zone you're in, you will have the opportunity to watch each one. But just click the links in the, in the notes or whatever you call it near my face. Okay. Cindy says the videos are amazing. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. We've worked really hard on them. Man, you have no idea how long, how much effort it took to produce this thing. It's 13 months. It's been a 13-month project, 13 years really, of learning and living through it and reading and researching and interviewing hundreds of cancer survivors. But then the last 13 months of me just like really focus to organize it all and present it in a way that's not overwhelming. Like a lot of the stuff you've seen where your head is just spinning because there's a million experts saying different opinions, This is patient-centered evidence, right? This is taking what people are doing that's working, putting it together for you. It's not just like, oh, I think this is the best diet. No, I like this one, It's not that. Okay, do y'all like my puppet hand? One here, and then I got one over here. Okay, need a third hand. Could be a lot more entertaining. Okay, I'm just scrolling through. Susan says, do you ever have issues with depression and anxiety? And my thoughts on meds and food. Well, I think we all go through days where we're maybe not so happy, right? But I've never struggled with a lot of anxiety. I had anxiety with cancer, believe me. It wasn't depression. It was a little bit of depression in the beginning, but then it was, fear and anxiety. And there's an entire module on stress. That's module 6. Module 6. In 3 days, you've got to watch the stress module, how to eliminate stress, module 6. And I talk all about dealing with fear, anxiety, worries, and all of the negative emotions that a lot of us are struggling with. And this was huge for me. I mean, I had to really get to the core of myself, right? I mean, I had to really examine my thoughts, my attitudes, my emotions, and take action to change the way I was thinking, right? And not just be a victim of my circumstance and not be ruled by my emotions. Because here's a little inside tip. Your thoughts create your emotions, and you can control your thoughts. Okay? So you can control your emotions with your thoughts, but you have to choose to think differently. All right? These are pro tips, okay? Pro tips. But the stress module, I think it's one of the absolute best modules in the entire course. It's coming in 3 days, whatever day that is. I don't even know what day it is. Today's Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, so Monday. Anyway, yes, please tune into that. Please tune into that. I didn't really understand the question about food and meds, so I'm not sure what you meant by that. Okay. Debbie says, what about chemical depression? I'm not sure what you mean. Like chemical imbalance depression? If that's what you mean, I'm not sure. But again, chemical imbalances can be caused by 2 things. They can be caused by prescription drugs. They can be caused by your diet, an unhealthy diet. And they also can be caused by your thought patterns, right? By the way you've programmed your mind and the synapses in your brain to fire, right? So we get into patterns in life. And so we get into thinking patterns that are depressive, anxiety, thought patterns. And you have to catch your thoughts. Like you have to take every thought captive. You have to catch your depressed thoughts where you're beating yourself up, where you're telling yourself you're not worthy, where you're focused on the few things in your life that aren't going right. And you have to deliberately change your thoughts to focus on all the good things you have and practice gratitude. Because guess what gratitude does? Gratitude accelerates happiness. Gratitude creates happiness. And you know what else? They've found that exercise works better than some antidepressant drugs, right? Exercise boosts feel-good chemicals in your brain, like serotonin. So anyway, yes, I mean, there's so much you can do. Your diet, exercise, and your thoughts are the way to combat depression for sure. There's a lot more to be said about it, but that's just the quick, kind of cliff notes, really. Okay. Food to help depression, sure, there could be foods that are triggering depression, and if you eat an unhealthy diet, tons of meat and dairy and processed food, a Western diet, then yeah, that may be aggravating, chemically bothering you and causing depressive kind of emotions and chemical reactions in the brain. But again, it's more than just food, right? It's your choices and your thoughts and your outlook on life. So, okay. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'd love to sit here and chat all day, and I usually do longer Q&As, but I've got this huge to-do list, and so I've got to get on it. One of them is eating lunch, and then also, oh man, it's just so much to do. I can't even get started on all the stuff we're doing behind the scenes to make sure the module's ready for you tonight. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Please like and share this, and tune in to the Square One videos. Right now, you can watch 1 and 2. They're both up right now. And then 3 starts tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. See you later.